Assalamu alaikum. My name is Abdul Khalik. Dear friends, we the humans, we have been made superior as compared to all the creations of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah has made us superior, has given us certain things which have been not given to other creations of Allah. So my dear friends, what if there is a reason behind all that will become quite a philosophical discussion. We are not going to indulge into that at all at the moment. But my dear friends, one quality without which a human being could not have been made superior or as superior as we are, if at all this particular quality was not given to the human to us. What is that, by the way? It is, dear friend, it is communication. And communication. We, the human beings, are far better communicators as compared to the other creations of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala here on this planet, my dear friends. Amongst us, amongst the human, who is considered more successful, a better person compared to the other, the one who is a better communicator. Anybody and everybody who want to become a leader cannot become a leader at all unless and until they are a very good communicator. So the communication skills are extremely important. It is said that all problems are communication problems. I don't know to what extent this is true, but at least communication is very important indeed. The better communicator we are, the better cooperation we can get from the people, and the better kind of relationship we can run with the people. So we should not be missing any opportunity to develop our communication skills. These are so important. These are very important indeed. My dear friends, today we are going to discuss this communication skills, how to develop these communication skills. And the way we are going to talk about on this subject, five effective communication skills. Five effective communication skills that don't require you to speak more. Five effective communication skills. Communication skills and effective communication skills, my dear friends, we need to understand it well. I believe that if at all we do understand and we do practice the five of these, we will become far better communicator than we actually are at the moment. And the better communicator we are, the better our life will become. Why? Because we are interacting with other people in a far better manner. What are those five communication skills? Let's look upon all these one by one. First of all, my dear friends, it is the active listening. Active listening is very important, and that is the first part of the communication. Anybody and everybody who is an active listener, there is a good probability that they will become a good communicator as well. But let me tell you that the person who is not a good communicator, who is not a good listener, who is not an active listener, can never ever become a good communicator unless until they are a good and active listener. What is this good and active listening actually? We need to pay attention to each of the word they people are talking, and not only to the word, rather to their body language, to their facial expression, to their tone of voice, and certain other things as well. Even the background of what they people, why are they talking like that? Why are they speaking like this one? So as for this active listening is concerned, as for this being good listener is concerned, I think that is an essential part of being a good communicator. So the active listening, that is the number one. Number two, it is concise expression. Concise expression. Be concise. Be short. Not speak in length at all. Why? On the one hand, if at all somebody is speaking for too long, it is very hard indeed that you will be able to retain, to gain, and even to retain the interest of your audience. So the audience will lose interest in that at all. So for this reason, we don't we don't have to speak for a longer period of time. Rather, be as concise as possible. And the other thing which for which we have been forbidden to speak in length, that is, the more we speak, the more misunderstanding are going to be created. So the both of these reasons, on the one hand, if at all we want to avoid to create the misunderstandings on the one hand, and we want the people to pay full attention to us while we are talking, I think that we need to become a concise. The more concise we are, the better it will be. Number three, it is the empathy and the emotional intelligence. Empathy and the emotional intelligence. And intelligence, being intelligent, that is considered very important indeed. But believe me, that being emotionally intelligent, that is even much, much more important. And the people who are intelligent with their IQ, but they are not intelligent as far their EQ is concerned, as far their EI, emotional intelligence is concerned. Believe me or not, if you go to the criminal found in the prison, you will be able to find that there are a lot of people there, who have committed heinous crime despite the fact that they were intelligent. Now today they are suffering. Not only that they are suffering, the whole of their family is suffering. Why do they commit crimes? Only because they lack the emotional intelligence. They were not emotionally intelligent. For that reason, they have chosen the path of the crime. Empathy. What is this empathy? Putting ourselves, wearing the shoes of another person, being at the place of another person, and then trying to understand the situation. Then we will be better able to understand why a person has acted like this one, why the people act like that one. So there cannot be any emotional intelligence at all unless a person does practice the empathy. So empathy is the most important part of the emotional intelligence. Also, while we want to become emotionally intelligent, we need to understand what kind of emotion do I experience frequently, and what kind of emotion is active at the moment. What emotions are positive in nature, what emotions are negative in nature, what are the positive emotions, so that we can utilize it even in a better way, so that we should be able to take more advantage of it. And if at all there is a negative emotion, how to control and how to manage it. Emotional intelligence, I think it is a prerogative for being successful and being a happy person. And now the fourth is non-verbal communication. Non-verbal. One is the verbal communication, the other is a non-verbal communication. The verbal communication, whatever we have been talking, whatever we are talking, listening, whatever we read, whatever we wrote, so all of that is the verbal communication. But there is a non-verbal communication as well. What is this non-verbal communication? Our body language and the body language of the other people, our facial expression of another person, and the tone of voice, all of these are actually the non-verbal communication. I think that we should be good at this one, because this too is an essential part of the communication skill. Without the non-verbal communication, I think we cannot be a good communicator at all. And now the fourth and the last is adaptability. Adaptability. Don't be a person who is not creative. Rather, be a creative person. And I mean, here, as far this adaptability is concerned, that if at all we have to teach one thing to several people, we might have to adopt the different strategy. If at all we are talking to an educated person, and again we have to adopt a different strategy if at all we are talking to an uneducated person. Likewise, if at all somebody is living in a backward country, in a third world country like Pakistan, and living too in a rural area, we might have to put forward the examples which are related to the same sort of place, and to the same sort of atmosphere. I think that we should be highly adaptable. And mean, talking to a person according to the type of person they are. I mean, if at all they are educated, uneducated, living in the rural area, living in the urban area, living in an underdeveloped country, living in a developed country, which age group they belong to, which gender they belong to. So if at all you are accommodating all of these things, it actually means that you are highly adaptable. And be an highly adaptable person, then only you will become a very good communicator. And in the absence of that, it is not humanly possible. It is not possible for us to be a good communicator, dear friend. So these were the five essential communication skills, five effective communication skills that don't require you to speak more, my dear friend. Speaking more, it is not a good quality at all. So we need to, either we need to speak less or we need to speak reasonably well, not excessive speaking. Because excessive speaking, we will be lose the interest of the people, and the more we talk, the more kind of misunderstanding will be generated. So these are the five effective communication skills. I think that if at all we learn it, if at all we practice it, we will definitely become a very good communicator. And being a good communicator, that is really a great honor. And let me tell you, let me repeat it, that if at all we are a good communicator, I think that we can only then become a good leader. Thank you very much.